Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen, the show where we bring you great recipes for not a whole lot of money. I'm the other host, Jack. I had some things I had to take care of for a little while, but I'm back to making videos, and sorry for the AC noises. I don't have a lavalier mic, and we're in Texas. It's like 1,000,000 degrees outside. Everything's on fire. It's miserable. It sucks. It's hot. So I can't turn off the AC. I'm so sorry about that. So yeah, anyway, enough with the delaying. We're going to go ahead and do a pork stir fry today. It's going to be spicy. I got a serrano pepper I'm going to throw in it. I got it diced up. We're going to have some carrots, some bamboo shoots, some green onions, the long green stalks and the bulbs. We got some chopped. And bell pepper and some pork, about a pound's worth. So let's go and get into it. So for the main event here, we have 2 center loin chops. These are butterflied. I already cut one up. I'm going to cut this one up on camera. We have some bell pepper. We have some green onion. We have some serrano. This is to make it nice and hot. We have some chopped garlic. We're going to use about a teaspoon or whatever of that. I am not going to use baby corn nuggets. I included them here because they're actually really good for this kind of thing. It's just there's people in the household that really don't want these, so I'm not going to include them. What I do is I get the nuggets and then I slice the nuggets in half lengthwise. Going to use bamboo shoots, about 8 ounces worth. And you really want julienned carrots, but cutting carrots sucks. So I went ahead and got some already chopped carrots. And then for the sauce, for the stir fry sauce, we'll go over this in more detail when the time comes. And yeah, let's go and get into it. Alright, so this is butterflied pork loin. And what I mean by butterflied is they just cut it most of the way through so you can fold it. You don't have to get butterflied. You can just get straight pork loin or boneless pork chop or bone-in pork chop if you want. And what we're going to do is we're going to just start making slices. You want thin slices preferably because stir fries cook fast. And you don't want things that have to take forever to cook, because you're using very high temperatures, about 375 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit with the stir fry. So let's go ahead and make long slices like this, and we're going to cut them down shorter here in a minute. Alright, and now when we cut it shorter, just lay it out flat, and we're going to cut either 3 or 4 pieces off. It depends on how long your cut of meat is. So with that one, I only made 3. You don't want big cuts of meat. They'll take too long to cook. And chances are any vegetables you have in there might dry out or lose their taste or burn before your meat's finished. Alright, there we go. Now we have our mound of pork bits. And we're going to go ahead and season it. I got ginger, onion powder, and garlic powder for seasoning our pork here. This is our onion powder. And this is our garlic powder. Try not to get it on the counter. Now you have to disinfect the counter. And there you go. And I already did all this with this just pork earlier. So let's get to the next step. Alright, next up we're going to get started on our stir fry sauce. So we have a 1/4 cup of reduced sodium soy sauce. You don't have to use reduced sodium if you don't want to. We have 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. We have a tablespoon of brown sugar. Try and get it all out. Just a little. Yeah, good enough. We have a tablespoon of cornstarch. And optionally, I'm going to add a teaspoon of sesame oil and chili sauce as well. Ignore the mess on the counter. That happens whenever you're doing this. It's perfectly normal. Add a teaspoon of that. And if you want spice, you add a teaspoon of some chili sauce as well. You can probably add more if you really want to. Let's see, like a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. Anyway, it's optional. You don't really need to add it. I'm going to add more. I'm going to pepper ahead. And to mix it all together, I got a really small fork. Now we're going to mix until the sauce thickens up. That's what the cornstarch is for. Oh, another important ingredient, a 1/2 cup of water or chicken broth. I went with water. Water's cheaper. Chicken broth offers better flavor though. And there we go, that's our stir fry sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that off to the side for later. So for this recipe, we're gonna be using an electric skillet, particularly because this model I have lets me set an exact temperature, and I want to cook at 375 as much as possible. 400 also works, but 375 gives me a couple extra seconds in case I mess up. I'm gonna go ahead and add a tablespoon of avocado oil, and we're gonna let it heat up to temperature. Alright, our avocado oil is starting to smoke. It's getting close to the temperature. It's not quite ready yet, but I'm going to go ahead and add it. Now, when you add your meat to the skillet, watch out for oil popping. It's probably going to pop. Be very careful. Alright, and so for this part, I'm going to be doing a good old-fashioned voiceover as the oil fries really loudly. So when you're adding your pork, be careful. It's gonna splash oil everywhere if the pork falls right on it. Some happen here. I tried to avoid it as best as possible. So it's called stir fry for a reason. You need to consistently stir the food for the most part, at least the meat, so it doesn't burn on one side because you're cooking at such high temperatures. So you're gonna cook the pork until it turns a little bit white, and maybe like a little bit after that. So about 3 to 4 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes at the absolute most. And once we're done with the 4 to 5 minutes for cooking the pork, so here we are about 4 minutes later. The pork's cooked pretty well through. I went ahead and kept tossing it around so that wouldn't burn in any particular side. At this point, I would consider the pork finished. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to kill the heat, and I'm going to set the pork aside into like a container. And we're going to reuse this pot. You're probably going to see me do this here in about a second. And here I am turning off the heat. And I'm going to get a bowl for the pork. Put that aside. And next we're going to get a tablespoon of oil, and we're going to start on our vegetables. Alright, so I turn the heat back up to 375. And we're going to add another tablespoon of oil. Alright, and we're going to add our carrots. Now, the recipe calls for 2 large julienne carrots. I didn't bother getting carrots to cut myself. I just got fresh ones. So we're going to go ahead and add not that much. I'm not going to use the whole package. And we're going to mix them in. And we're going to cook the carrots for about 2 minutes. So our carrots have been sauteing for about 2 minutes. Next, we're going to go ahead and add our bell pepper. Just throw it all in there. As much of it will come out of this bowl as possible. And then we're going to start adding our bamboo shoots. Use the whole can. And we're going to stir fry for another 4 minutes. Mix it together really well. Yeah, the stir frying the vegetables, this is my favorite part. I really like how everything comes together and really starts to smell. It's very great. Also, when I added the bamboo shoots, if you wanted to do the baby corn, but it's also when you want to add the baby corn. For this recipe, I'm skipping it because other people in the household are not a big fan of them. But if it's just me, I would be adding them. But if you did add that baby corn, the cook time would be the same. Just for 4 minutes at that phase. Okay, 2 minutes after adding the last phase, we're going to go ahead and add in our serrano peppers. As much of it as we can get out of the container as possible. And we're going to add a ½ teaspoon of garlic. You can add more garlic if you want. I'm just going with a ½ teaspoon. And we're going to cook for another 2 minutes. The garlic really adds a nice aromatic layer to it. Some of it popped into the freaking bowl over here. Trying to scoop that out again. Yeah, the garlic really adds a really nice aromatic layer to it. It just smells fantastic. I absolutely love this kind of food. So next we're going to go ahead and add our green onions. So I got the green onion bulbs and the stems. So we're going to go ahead and add that all in there. And we're going to stir fry for 1 more minute. Alright, after a minute, a minute after adding your green onions, we're going to return our pork back to the stir fry. And then we're going to add our stir fry sauce. And we're going to cook for another 3 to 4 minutes or until our stir fry sauce thickens. Once the sauce thickens, you're done. You don't have to cook no more. Now, while you're waiting for your sauce to thicken, do be sure to come and stir it. Don't just stop because the sauce is in and you're almost done. Yeah, see, mine's only been going for about 1.5 minutes and my sauce is already starting to thicken up. Alright, and it's been about 4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and kill the heat. And there you go. Delicious homemade pork stir fry with a little bit of heat thanks to that serrano pepper. Now, for all I know, that serrano pepper could be hotter than hell. They are considerably hotter than jalapenos. But I only added 1 and I did de-seed it, so how hot could it be? And so yeah, there you have it, the spicy pork stir fry. This is actually the 2nd time I made it. First time it came out really good. This time, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm assuming it's good because it's pretty much the same as the first. Only omission is the baby corn. I didn't include that because some people didn't want it, and I wasn't just making it for me. But anyway, some omissions you could do. You could add or not use the baby corn. You could add or not use the bamboo shoots. You could add water chestnuts. I didn't use water chestnuts. If you do, look up how to cook them. Green onions. You could substitute the green onions for white onions, red onion, yellow, whatever, or just not use them. There's some other things you could do. You could use like your own stir fry sauce if you got it, or a store-bought one if that's your stick. But yeah, if you try it, let me know down in the comments. It would mean a whole lot to see what other people's feedback on it would be, and especially to see if you like it. Now, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It means a whole lot to us when you do that, because we're a growing channel. We're trying to get bigger, you know. Not physically, of course. And that has been a problem over the years. But anyway, thanks for watching. You can catch us here mostly on Tuesdays and Fridays. Sometimes a little different. Sometimes the video might go up Wednesday or Saturday. This one should go up Saturday. I'm recording it Friday night, and it's been crazy busy. But anyway, thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time.